Hello, my viewers, and welcome to the third YouTube edition of Roddy Reviews. Um, this week I got something special for you. It's been a requested thing, that people have been wanting. It's as you can see in the title, it's the Lizzo album review, and I'm excited to do this. I didn't know that I had heard Lizzo songs before I listened to this album. Um, but I have. I just didn't, maybe didn't pay attention to who they were by or whatever. But this is the "Cause I Love You" Lizzo review. We'll just get right into it. And, disclosure, I listened to all this directly before this review. I listened to the album front to back directly before the review. Because, I can't like intersperse clips here and there, because of copyright stuff. So, let's jump in. Oh, another note. I just did the original release, not the deluxe album. I just did the songs on the original release. And I'm going to go through, talk about all of them, give them each a score, and then have sort of a composite score at the end. So the first track, the title track, "Cause I Love You," I was blown away by. I had never heard that song prior to listening to this album in its entirety, and it was a real surprise to me. Just how well it works. I mean, there's an amazing like vibe to it. It had that. I don't know, but that type of vibe. The opening of that, like the opening with Lizzo's voice, is wonderful. That opening, it just hits you right away, and then you go into the song. And I would say, it's one of my favorite new songs that I've like heard as of late. Period. Like, I'm not. I mean, I haven't listened to that much new music, new releases that I've been wanting to. But this song is up there with those, type of things. It really is great. It really hits you at the very beginning. It just, Lizzo's voice cuts through. And, everything else I've said. So, yeah. My review for that particular song is a 9.9192 out of 10. Great. Absolutely wonderful. I know I might not be freaking out about it. I might not, be conveying my true feeling on the song. But the song was really, really great. And, quick note, I should have mentioned in the beginning, I would recommend that everyone, like, listen to the songs. Maybe as I'm going, or do it before, do it after. But I do recommend, and I've said this before with anything that I do, that you try it out for yourself, listen to it for yourself. Don't just take my word, or my words, as scripture or whatever, I don't know. So the second song on the album, "Like a Girl," it has a good like message, okay? Like this whole female anthem type thing is what it's going for, and it does that successfully. But the instrumentals on it and the vibe, it sounds closer to your typical pop song, which for me was, I don't know, pretty jarring coming from the "Cause I Love You," the first track on the album. It was pretty jarring to go from that to like a typical pop type thing. But it does have that message. It's a great message. It is communicated effectively. It like just doesn't have the power of the first song, which I guess is not fair to compare. But if you're comparing that, if you're reviewing the album as a whole, it's got whatever the ebb and flow is, and I just don't think it really flowed that well, which is no fault to "Cause I Love You." But it does have a pretty funny ending where like she stops the music and she just like says some words that I don't 100% recall, some profanity, I believe, or no, she was like, "Oh, is this where it ended?" Like, surprised that it ended. That was funny. And I gave it a couple more points because of that. So my overall rating for that song is a 7.128 out of 10. It didn't blow me away musically. I like the message. That gave it some more points in its favor. And keep in mind, you might be like, oh, 7.12, that's, way less than a 9.9. But, I mean, it's still, halfway towards 10. Almost. You get the point. It's still it's still a positive review. It's not like, 3 or something. So, the next song is Juice. This is the one that I have heard before that I didn't know I had. I've heard the song before I didn't know. Some of you may have seen Adam Neely, I believe, did a video. Yeah, with like different levels of harmonization. It was Adam Neely. Yeah, and he did it with this song. I heard it then, but I didn't know, the song was by Lizzo. I've never heard the actual song, but it's pretty groovy. It really is. I mean, I was digging it. It's got like a old school aesthetic, maybe like the '80s type deal. Really, truthfully, what it truly has is like a Bruno Mars type aesthetic. With that comparison, I think if Bruno Mars, if you were to place Lizzo with Bruno Mars, I don't think anyone would, be too confused about her or think it sounds that out of place. So that's I would say that would be a highlight on the album, along with "Cause I Love You." If I didn't say that, but so my score for Juice, straight up 8.88 out of 10. Closing in on that 9. It didn't have like, I don't know. It was too, aesthetic. It played too much into its aesthetic at points. Wasn't, daring to go outside of that. But 8.88, still solid. Nothing wrong. Speaking of nothing wrong. Speaking of wrong, so the next one was Soulmate. It went back to that typical pop beat. So here it's like, it was 4 songs in, so it was sort of like a, new type thing, typical pop. New type thing, typical pop. This has sort of been the, standard at this point. And it's the rap chord. The rap, I don't think translates as well as in this particular song. Not Lizzo overall. In this particular song, it doesn't translate. There's a good build-up on like the pre-chorus to the chorus. I started getting more detailed with these as I went through. But the chorus I just don't like that much. It's very poppy, which isn't inherently bad, but compared to the rest of the stuff, I don't know. It's just, and again, this is a personal thing. It just wasn't my type of song. It didn't excite me as the previous 3, or as much as the previous 3. It didn't, I wasn't excited about it. It's also got that clapping sound in the background, or that like, or whatever, like a dance clap. I wasn't a fan of it. You might be surprised by this score, but I'm going to give it a 4.827 out of 10. It just didn't do anything for me, really. Still, that's leaning on the negative, and I think that's fair. But it's still almost neutral, so I'm not, it just had a little bit that I didn't like, more so than other things. So 4.827 on Soulmate. Next was Jerome. I thought it was pretty funny, the like hee hee whatever at the beginning. I like that. That was pretty good. Water break. All right, cool. That was pretty good. Had a nice relaxed beat, a chill beat. I almost lost my place. Good chord progression. I like changing chords. Give a different type of tone than anything previously, really, except "Cause I Love You." But yeah, you know how I felt about that one. It was really good. It gets repetitive as it goes on. Like, it seems like it's doing the same thing over and over and over, which did hurt it a little bit. Now, because I really liked it at the beginning, I really enjoyed it, but then it just kept on doing the same thing as it went on. So it was a promising song. I was really looking forward to it, but it just got stagnant at a point. Though she does come back with more hee 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 or whatever later on, and that's fun. But overall, it sort of averaged out to a 7.616 out of 10. Still positive, but she could have done, or they could have done more with that. Next one is Cry Baby. This was a really interesting one. There was guitar like heavy guitar, sort of played out like a rock song. Honestly, it reminded me of actually like a groovier, slower Aerosmith song. Maybe you can hear that as well. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but that's the vibe I got, like an Aerosmith type thing. Um, and I think they probably took inspiration from that era for that song. But I enjoyed the vibe. It was good. It didn't really feel out of place. It felt, completely fine for her. Um, and there was heavy synths too, along with that rock stuff, especially towards the ending. The synths were like coming through, and I enjoyed it. People may not. I think it might be a little hidden gem in the album. People might not be talking about it, but I think it's pretty good. Give it an 8.1 out of 10. We're gonna chug along. So tempo. I like the guitar entrance to it, and then the rapping came in pretty abruptly, but I like that. Um, it was good. Uh, Good chords like behind the rapping. The beat worked very well. And the chorus, like chords change, like the tonal center changes a little bit in the chorus, which I really like. Um, and then Missy Elliott's verse. Honestly, I was a little disappointed with Missy Elliott's feature on this track. Because I mean, if you know like rap, Missy Elliott is a talent in the game, right? She's a legend. Um, but she did like that burr, gur, cur, whir type thing, and she like rolled the R's like, duh. It's, I can't remember, Cardi B. It was a little bit Cardi B-ish. That's who it reminds me of. A little bit like that okar thing going on. And I wasn't that big of a fan for Missy Elliott. It sort of worked. So I mean, I don't know if I was a fan of that. And she wasn't really utilized as well. She wasn't utilized as much as she could have been. Still like the song overall, pretty much. Giving it a 7.94 out of 10. Still liked it. Still good rap. Still good beats. Just Missy Elliott feature was a little underwhelming. So next is Exactly How I Feel, which I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel on this one. Gave it a 7.22 out of 10. Not much to say. A Bruno Mars type vibe. Gucci Mane's, this is worth talking about. I jumped the gun a little bit. Gucci Mane's verse I enjoyed. I thought it added a lot. I thought it was awesome. But there wasn't enough in the song overall, And it had that Bruno Mars aesthetic. Like the earlier song. Sorry, wiping away a notification. Next one, Better in Color. I like it. I wrote, ooh, I like this one. From the beginning. Just because, like, the vibe at the beginning. It's sort of like, what was that other one? Sort of reminded me of Crybaby a little bit because it had, like, a rock type thing. Rock type structure. With, like, is this one with the... No, it had like a rock type structure, within a pop song. Pop is a little bit of a stretch for this one, but it was a little too short. It was a short song. It could have been better had it been longer. So I'm gonna give it a 7.813 out of 10. Liked it, good. Next one is Heaven Help Me. Ooh, good piano stuff going on at the beginning. Nice trap beat, like the trap beat with piano. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, this is cool. I like it. And there's good chords throughout. There's that nice like say whoa part in the song. It's fun. And then there's a change towards the middle of the song that I enjoy. And then the outro with the flute and like a little toy piano type like thing. It's like a, less amplified piano, and the flute, awesome. Totally dig it. Give it like 8.61 out of 10. That's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. So last one, because again I didn't do the deluxe, I'm just doing the standard. Is Lingerie, and I like it. don't know what to tell you. It's got chill vibe. It's chill. It's relaxed. It's more like, you can sit back and listen to it, chill out somewhere and listen to it. There's a good change in like the rhythm movement that Lizzo does like halfway through, where it changes the chords. And there was a good build up throughout the entire song, which I actually had a problem with that for most of the album. There wasn't like a build to any song that could use a build, but this one had a nice build. It started off softer, more relaxed, build up to this whole thing. Nice guitar addition throughout the end, great vocals throughout, and a nice ending, with the chiller vibe. Great way to end off the standard album. I gave that particular one an 8.7 out of 10. Good stuff. So now, time to talk about the album as a whole. Water break. I think it was a coherent experience, which is a big thing for me. Again, my personal opinion. It was one coherent experience. Song to song, you could tell it was one album. Except maybe for Cause I Love You and then straight into Like a Girl. Maybe that was a little weird. But past that, it was like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is what we're getting. I'm sure fans of Lizzo, got what they were anticipating. I mean, because I've heard very positive things about this album, and I agree with most of them. I mean, there was the one song, Soulmate, that I didn't enjoy. Which, speaking of, my high points for this album, Cause I Love You, absolutely a high point. I immediately, like, within 5 seconds of listening to it, added it to, like, all my playlists. It's great. And I'd say another highlight, well, I'll give Juice. I'll do 3 highlights. So, Cause I Love You, 1. Juice, another. And I mean, those are, the 2 you hear about a lot. And then for third, I'm going to go Lingerie. I am. It was a really nice way to close out the album. Really chill. For my low point, I really only have one. And you got to give it to Soulmate. I mean, for some reason, that just didn't do anything for me. I thought negatively of that. That was the only song I had a negative opinion of in the entire album. Was Soulmate. So, that's the low point. Hidden gem, I'd say Crybaby. Probably. One that probably wouldn't get as much attention. Heaven Help Me as well, though I'm not aware of Heaven Help Me's reach, but that could also be a hidden gem. So overall, everything considered, I could do it to where I just literally averaged out the scores and gave you a number like that, but I didn't feel like that was fair. Because, I mean, that Soulmate one would bring the average down, that Cause I Love You could potentially bring it up. So I'm just going to say, overall score, 8.335 out of 10 for the album as a whole. Coherent experience. It's a little bit higher than if you average these out. But I think the album is a good album. I gave it 8.335. Nothing wrong with it. I enjoyed it a lot. I would recommend, you to listen to it, whether it's for this review or just because you want to in your casual time. Do it. It's awesome. That's pretty much all I have to say. It's great. So, thanks for watching. Go ahead, hit the like button down there somewhere. Smash that subscribe button. Blah. Be a part of the notification squad. Hit that bell. Blah. And go listen to the album. Because I think if you don't know Lizzo or anything, you will be surprised. I enjoyed it. Follow Roddy Reviews on Instagram at Roddy_reviews. Follow me on Twitter at Roddy Reviews. I had a pun, but I don't remember. I had a pun to close this out, but I don't remember. Well, it had something to do with the subscribe button. I was going to reference the album on the subscribe button. So go, Heaven Help Me on that subscribe button. Show exactly how you feel by hitting that subscribe button. Ooh, that's a good one. But all right. See you guys later. And you know what they say.